Welcome back to Insight. Dave Farnbaugh joins us from Sweeney Law Firm, and interesting topic about how probate court can be involved in the process of personal injury and wrongful death cases. Tell me more. I don't even know what probate court is. Let's start there first.
That's a good place to start, Dirk. Probate court is the court that people would generally associate with, for example, if there's a will.
Will, right, okay.
And so there are specific judges, like in Allen County, and one judge in particular, who handles nothing but probate, which means generally cases where someone dies and there's a will and the assets that are going to be distributed to the heirs under the will, those cases, many of them have to go through the court process, so a judge presides over that distribution of property.
So personal injury and wrongful death and things like that, still the probate court will be involved in that case?
Right. So typically, Dirk, let's start with a type of case that judge is normally involved in, which would be what we call a minor settlement. Mm-hmm. There are many personal injury cases where a child will be injured. And because a child is involved, a probate judge will have to be involved in making sure that the minor's interest, because he's a minor child, mm-hmm. not an adult, not capable of protecting his own interest, the legal system sort of injects a judge into that process to make sure that everything that is done in a minor's injury case is done in the best interest of the child.
So if the child is injured, then that money goes probably maybe not automatically to the parents, or is it...
Right, that's a common misconception. The money doesn't go to the parents at all. Mm-hmm. If a case is settled for a minor child, typically what the judge will order is that that money is placed in a interest-bearing account until that child turns age 18, or sometimes if it's a larger settlement, they'll approve like a structured settlement annuity to distribute that money at various times after the child becomes an adult. But the courts want to make sure that no parent or guardian is spending that injured child's money unless there's some sort of a court order.
Okay, but that would not include, say, the child's medical expenses, or would it?
Well, typically the medical expenses are paid out of the settlement proceeds.
Okay.
So we're sort of talking about the money that's available to compensate for pain and suffering and permanency and those sorts of things.
So in our minute left here, probate court in a wrongful death case looks like what?
Well, in a wrongful death case, Dirk, when someone dies, a legal representative, typically it's a spouse, if the person that died didn't leave a surviving spouse, it could be a child. A person is appointed by the probate court to serve as the legal representative to sort of represent that deceased person in a legal case. Mm-hmm. So the court has to approve who's appointed as the personal representative of that deceased person's estate, and then the probate court is involved if there is a settlement or a jury verdict, there's proceeds of a wrongful death, then petitions have to be filed with the probate court to make sure the money goes to the appropriate places. There might be creditors for that deceased person's estate. There might be multiple heirs that are entitled to get the proceeds of a wrongful death case. So the probate court makes sure that the money goes to the right places. All
right, there's a lot of information there, and if people want to find out more, the new Sweeney Law Firm website is fantastic. Check them out online at SweeneyLawFirm.com. You can get in touch with them there or on the phone, of course. We will be right back on Insight.